Here in the heart of the Tenderloin is a little taste of the Big Easy. Today I'm meeting with my friends Nathan and Pouya for some delicious beignets and shrimp grits at Brenda's French Soul Food. Yes, it's in the middle of the Tenderloin, but that doesn't seem to put people off. Brenda's is uber popular, doesn't take reservations, and always has at least a 20-minute wait. About 2 hours if you're coming on the weekend. So come early to put your name on the board. Brenda's is the first celebrated restaurant of chef Brenda Buenviaje. She now has 3 more, who brings French Cajun cuisine from her hometown of New Orleans to this little corner of San Francisco. Brenda is Filipina Creole and grew up in a small town called Harvey on the banks of the Mexican Gulf. As a child, her family fished and foraged for wild proteins and produce to supplement their crawfish boils and gumbos. After graduating from college, she put in many years on the NOLA food scene and then here in San Francisco, perfecting her menu. Her menu is pretty traditional, but quite innovative. For example, one of her best sellers is the crawfish beignet, which I cannot wait to try. There are 3 other outposts of Brenda's. Literally 2 storefronts down is Libby Jane, who is named after Brenda's wife and business partner, and it's an excellent to-go cafe. And then there is Brenda's Meat and 3, which is located in the Western Addition and is a lunch counter style place which offers Louisiana's version of a lunch plate. You pick 1 protein and 3 sides. And a new Brenda's opening soon in Oakland. Hi, Nathan.
Hello, Zeene.
How's it going?
It's going good. Are you excited?
So this restaurant is just down the street from Nathan and Pouya. So guys, what makes it such a great restaurant?
First of all, we were very intrigued when we first saw it because the line is always out the door. The French soul food cooking, it lives up to its name. So the menu is extensive. And it's like a little slice of Louisiana in San Francisco.
Sundays 4 to 7 they have a jazz, and I love their homemade strawberry jam with their biscuits. That's my favorite.
Once you get your name on the board, step outside and peruse the menu of daily specials to prime your appetite. On the board today, a banana butterscotch chip pancake and a molasses pork chop with sweet potato hash. Ooh, they just called our name. Let's go in.
What I love about this place is their strawberry jam. Anytime, the moment that you get sit at your table, there's strawberry jam like right next to their ketchup and sugar. And it's beautiful to see like the chunks of strawberries.
So what I'm excited about is to have their community coffee flavored with chicory, which we found out is actually real coffee flavored with chicory, which is a herb from the dandelion family. And sometimes it's used as a coffee substitute, but in this case it's used as an additional flavor. With the addition of cream and sugar, this is almost like a Vietnamese coffee. It's sweet, it's creamy, and it has that additional hint of the chicory in there that is so delicious. Not as bitter as I expected it to be. It's just a little bit more like flowery, little like an herbal fragrance, pick-me-up in the drink.
So one of the must-order items here is the flight of 4 beignets. And for those who are not familiar with beignets, it's a French-style pastry that uses choux dough, which is the kind of dough that they use in profiteroles and gruyères. They're not usually filled, but here at Brenda's they do. And once the dough is filled, it's deep fried and it takes on this really delicious, chewy, crunchy texture. Then they top it off with a little sprinkling of powdered sugar. And for our one savory one, they powder it with paprika. In our flight, we've got the 1 unfilled standard beignet. We've got the chocolate one, which is filled with Ghirardelli chocolate. An apple filling that tastes more like a fritter and is filled with Granny Smith apples and a cinnamon honey butter. And the much vaunted crawfish filling, which is chock full of crawfish, some cheese, and some spices.
Very fresh, very tender, very buttery. And the chocolate, of course, is just like a fudgy, gooey center. It was warm and melted, so you know these were cooked fresh. I give this an A. I loved it.
I love how hot and warm it was. I love like the slices of apple. It changed the whole flavor in your mouth. It's like having an apple pie in a way to me.
Okay, look at that bite in there. Oh, you wouldn't think that it would work to have a savory beignet, but it totally does. There's these big, fat, juicy chunks of crawfish in there, and it's kind of a little bit creamy and cheesy, and finishes off great with a slight bit of spice.
For our mains, Pouya orders Brenda's homemade granola topped with yogurt and a huge heaping of fresh fruits, which are definitely more West Coast crops. And he really wanted to try the succotash, which is a popular southern side of corn and lima beans, amped up Brenda style, e.g. non-conventional, with fresh chunks of zucchini, tomato, onions, and spinach. The crowning glory is Brenda's famous cream biscuit with a much-lauded house-made strawberry jam on top, which, incidentally, you can also purchase a jar for home.
Brenda developed her cream biscuit recipe way before she opened up Brenda's. American biscuits are probably more akin to a fluffier, savory scope, the southern version of a dinner roll, and are eaten on the side with just about everything. There are different types of biscuits. These ones are specifically called cream biscuits, which are made with a heavier cream instead of buttermilk or butter, which doesn't make it any less caloric, just less tangy. With these, you'll get a richer, sweeter flavor. Pouya, what do you think of your biscuits?
Having the strawberry jam with biscuit is the way I could have it, and I really love it. It tastes so good.
You can't get any more southern than shrimp and grits. Grits are to the south like potatoes are to northern Europe or rice is to Asia. Grits originated with the Native American Indians who essentially taught the European settlers how to eat corn, and is basically a lined cornmeal that has been cooked down into a porridge-like consistency. It's got a pretty mild flavor to it, so you kind of have to amp it up with a ton of cheese and butter, which is how the Southerners like to eat it. And it's also pretty traditional to eat it with shrimp.
Shrimp and grits is Nathan's favorite dish. Brenda's grits have a saucier consistency and are then topped off with a layer of melted cheese and a bacon tomato relish that also has bits of onion, garlic, brown sugar, hot sauce, vinegar, and finished off with a touch of wine.
So the grits are slightly spicy, not too spicy, but with a kick. And they are rather soupy, so think of them as like a bowl of polenta or a bowl of cream of wheat that you would have in the morning. The shrimps are grilled perfectly. They're plump and juicy, not overcooked, beautiful, flavorful bite.
Looks spectacular. I must try it.
Oh. The shrimp is so big and juicy, and I love that relish with the taste of wine behind it, and it's got the smoky quality in it from the bacon. So delicious. So I got the BFC, or Brenda's fried chicken, which is a must get on this menu. And fried chicken is, again, another one of those super popular Southern dishes.
It's a heaping pile of food. There's 2 sizable pieces of fried chicken, one dark, one white, in Brenda's super secret batter and fried up crunchy, a whole lot of fries, the ubiquitous cream biscuit, and on the side is the traditional Southern meat complement, coleslaw, and a thing of homemade pepper jelly.
So you can use a knife and fork, but the real way to do it is with your hands. So I'm gonna dig in. Oh, look how crispy and light and gorgeous that looks. Yummy. I'm gonna stuff my face with it now. Oh my God, that is so crispy. The chicken is so tender and juicy. This layer here of coating is so thin. It doesn't overwhelm the chicken and just adds this really nice crunchiness to it when you bite into it. There's a hint of fire behind the chicken, but as with the grits, it's not overpowering. So if you're somebody who doesn't like spice, I think you can still handle this. They also include this delicious looking pepper jelly, which all it is habanero peppers and sugar boiled down. And you're supposed to eat this on top of the chicken. So let's try it. at that. Oh. The fried chicken was fantastic before. With the pepper jelly, it's phenomenal. It adds this whole new dimension of sweet tanginess, kind of really amps up the flavor.
And just 'cause, here's some more in-depth food porn shots of a moist, yet flaky, golden brown cream biscuit. Oh yeah, look at them beautiful layers. And as Pouya would say, strawberry jam is a must.
This biscuit is cooked perfectly. The bottom is nice and brown so that as you bite into it, you get this fluffiness from the top, and then the bottom is slightly crunchy. It's got this wonderful mouthfeel. You're definitely not getting that butteriness that you normally get from a biscuit, but the cream in this is beautiful and it's slightly sweet. It tastes fantastic. And that jam on here is so perfect because the strawberries in it are super sweet. It's got such a concentrated burst of flavor. It goes so well with the mildness of this biscuit. Okay guys, that was such a fantastic meal. I am so full.
We're all very full.
We're rolling ourselves out of this restaurant. As they say in New Orleans, laissez le bon temps brûler, which means...
Let the good times roll.
But in this case, it's not the good times, it's the people.
Yes, rolling out of the restaurant.
Nathan and Pouya, thanks so much for joining us and for showing us your neighborhood and
Absolutely.
this fantastic restaurant, introducing us to it. Okay, peeps, for you guys, we'll catch you next week. Peace out.